All right.
Good morning, good afternoon. We are going to have a class today that is going to be themed nice, happy, healthy neck. And so today I have a little different setup just to make sure that we are not backwards. We have the word that you can read when I say right leg. You're going to see me move my right leg. But what we are going to start with today, I'm going to watch for a few more people to get on, and then we're going to get set up with those blankets that you see there. We're not going to start with that, but we are going to get them set up now so that we can use them at the end. So we're going to have a nice, chill Shavasana today. So if you have them, go and grab, any two blankets from your house. So go grab two blankets, and then in a few minutes, I will tell you how to get them set up so that then at the end, they'll be all ready for us. So any two blankets, we're just gonna fold them so that they are kind of shaped like this. I'll give you a minute to go get those. Okay, if you have your blankets, this is what we're gonna do. So basically, we have two here. And your bottom one, you want it to be in a rectangle about the length from your low back to the top of your head. So mine, I just have, it's folded into thirds and then I fold it in half. So it can be as wide as it ends up being once you fold it, but basically about this tall, about this wide. So get one folded approximately like that. We do want to make sure that it goes all the way from low back to the top of the head. And then you're going to fold your other one the same way. So get it approximately same size, but then what we're going to do with that one is then just fold this top part over. So what this is going to end up being is a support for your neck. So not necessarily like a pillow, but this is where neck is going to rest, and then your head will also kind of rest on it. So then you're going to get that one kind of folded like that, and then stack them. So put that one on top of this one so that kind of the edges line up on where your head will be. But then from this way, it's kind of three-tiered. So there's this is where low back will be, this is where upper back is going to be, and then this is where your neck will be. If you're looking at your blankets and thinking they are not going to look like that, that is okay. We're just going to have a nice resting posture where you might enjoy having your blankets kind of folded like this. So no worries if it is not quite looking like this. It does work really well with these Mexican blankets, so if you don't have them, no worries. So again, if you're just turning on, we're getting blankets ready for our final posture. Bottom one is just going to be in a rectangle, kind of the height of low back to the top of your head. And then your second one is folded just the same in another rectangle, but then you're going to just fold that over so that this is support for our neck. And then we're stacking these. And then this, we call it our yoga couch. So we're going to just slide the yoga couch out of the way, set it to the side, and we'll bring it back at the end. Okay, so today the theme of our class is happy, healthy neck. I know a lot of people out there, and myself included, there's some neck stuff going on with this constant working from home, and also stress impacts the way our muscles feel, and sometimes we hold it in our shoulders, and that impacts our neck. So we're going to give this area some love today. Let's start by finding a comfortable seat. So if that for you is sitting cross-legged, that's wonderful. If you feel better with like a pillow or a yoga block under your bum so that you're a little more lifted, that is also wonderful. You can also do just like sitting on your heels if the cross-legged doesn't feel good in your body. And we're just gonna start by tapping into the breath and finding our belly breath. So optional to have one hand here and one hand on your tummy. And what you're starting to look for is sending more air to this lower hand. So checking in on breath might be all in the chest, start to send it to the tummy. And then as you breathe, start to take away any movement in this top hand so the chest isn't moving much at all. But every breath in, you just feel that movement in your bottom hand. And so we talk about belly breathing and use that term, but I also want you to think about that the muscle that does this type of breathing is your diaphragm, and that lines the whole bottom of your rib cage. So it's not just the front, breathing into your tummy, but it's also breathing into your sides and breathing into your low back. So bring your hands to your lower rib cage. And then here instead, feel a little different than feeling at the front. Feel your lower sides expand. Every inhale. And picture almost like an umbrella. That's what we want to picture this area as, like opening up all around and then lightly contracting a little bit as you exhale, and even picturing that you could send that air into your low back. So this whole abdomen as a circle, we call it the umbrella breath. So breathing all around, not just a huge breath where the tummy expands a ton, but sending it into your entire abdomen. So you can bring hands back to lower ribs if they're not there already, and a few more breaths here, finding that umbrella breath. A new way to think about belly breathing. All right, now we are going to stretch out some of these front of the neck muscles that never get any love. So we're going to start with this kind of strappy one in front. We're going to start with left side. So follow along with me. You're going to tip your head to the right, and then a little bit back, not much, and then you're going to look up and to the left. And then hold this stretch there. You should feel it in the left front of your neck muscles. So again, it's tipping your head to the right, then a tiny bit of tipping your head back, and then looking up and really drawing your chin up into the left. And in this, let your right shoulder just go. Let it be heavy, melty, that will help. All right, we're gonna get right side now. So for this side, then it's tipping your head to the left, tiny bit back, and then looking up and to the right. Notice what differences you feel side to side. See if you can keep your abdominal breathing, that umbrella breath, going throughout these stretches. Doesn't have to be huge expansion every inhale, but just that you're still breathing into your tummy instead of breathing into your chest. Good. All right, we're gonna gently come out of that, and now we're gonna stretch another muscle on the front of the neck. And so we're gonna start with left side, and optional here is to tuck your hand, like you're gonna sit on the palm of your left hand, and then you're going to start looking straight ahead and then look up and to your right. So you're lengthening between your jawbone and your collarbone, and you should feel this on the outside of your left neck. Checking in on the breath. It's a good challenge for us to keep the belly breathing going throughout something else that makes us want to forget about it. Good, and now we'll get right side, so optional again to tuck that right hand under your bum, and then starting looking straight ahead, and then look up and to the left, lengthening between your collarbone and jawbone. And you might need to move a little bit, you know, take chin like a ½ centimeter up or down or side to side within this to feel a stretch, and that's totally fine. Wonderful. And now what we're going to do is just take some side to side motions with the head. So we're not going all the way back, we're not going to here, but we're going to start by taking our head to the right, and then let it slowly roll down in front, and then to the left. And so I want you to feel an extra stretch both at the right and the left. We're not totally letting the head hang in the middle. So we'll start by going to the left. Feel a stretch here on the right, and then let your head move through this middle area, and then come over here to where you're going to feel a stretch on the left. And we're going to do a few half circles here, emphasizing at the end this kind of upper trap like stretch that you feel at the end when your head is to the side. And you can take this speed, if my speed with this is faster than what you would like to do, you can slow it down and hold these stretches for longer. Going back to the right. You might have a side that's always tighter. Head back to the left. And we'll do one more of these each side. Bring your head around. Head to the right, stretch on the left. And then one more other side. Wonderful. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay down on our backs. So what we're going to do first here is, it's called open book. And so we're going to start by laying on your right side. I'm scooching way to the edge of my mat because of the wall, so just check around you and see how much room you have if when you do this, if you're going to hit anything. So make sure you have some openness, and we're going to start laying on your right side with your hands out in front of you, knees bent kind of like you're almost tucking into like a fetal position, but not all the way there. And then arms out, and we're going to start by opening your top hand all the way up and to the left. And then bring it all the way back to touch that right hand, and follow your moving hand with your gaze. So opening up again, follow it to the left, and closing, bringing hands back to meet. This is a nice movement for our upper back. Open up. It might feel good to hold for a second at the end and feel that upper back stretch. And then bring left hand all the way back, follow it with your gaze. We're going to do 2 more of those. Opening up. And bringing it back. that's repetitive like this, it's optional to pair it with the breath. And so let's do that for this next one. So that's going to be, let's do inhale, resting, and then exhale as you open up. Inhale at the end, and then exhale as you close. So now we'll switch to the other side, but we'll use that breath pattern on the opposite side. These breath patterns are always optional. Sometimes it can feel like it really enhances what you get out of a posture, but if it feels like it's adding too much work or making it frustrating, definitely feel free to kind of let it go for that day, but maybe on another day it might feel right to add that in. So knees bent here on our left side, and in this laying down position our shoulders are kind of stacked on top of each other. And then right hand is going to be moving this time. So let's start with the breath. We're going to inhale resting, and we're going to move on exhales. So inhale, and then exhale. We're going to open up to the right and follow that with our eyes. Inhale here. Exhale, bring that hand back. Inhale. Exhale, open up. Breath in. Exhale, closing. Inhale, resting. Exhale, movement. Inhale as you enjoy that stretch. And exhale as we come back to close. We're going to do one more. Breath in. Exhale, open up. Wonderful. Inhale here. And then exhale, bringing hands back together. Good. All right. Now we are going to go back onto our backs again. And then start with your arms down at your sides. So we're just laying in this, starting from this like Shavasana type position. If it doesn't feel good, bend your knees. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna float the arms up overhead and then bring them back down by our sides. So super simple, arms reaching up overhead and then arms coming back down by our sides. And now, what I want you to do is to check in on your neck and shoulders. Are they relaxed? And keep the arm movement going. Is your neck and shoulders relaxed, or are they tensing as you move your arms? And see if you can let your head be really heavy and your shoulders be heavy, and let this arm movement happen without shrugging or without tensing the back of your neck. That's step one. If you're finding this hard, you are not alone. Sometimes it's so ingrained, but any movement of the upper arm, that upper trap is going to help out. It's not really helping. And now, if that felt doable, what I want you to do is to add in the breath. So breathe to your tummy. You can also think about breathing into low back and kind of breathing into the mat, and also breathing out into those low side ribs. And so you might need to pause the arm movement for a second, start that breath, and then once you've got that, so let's do a few breaths of that. So breathing into your tummy, exhale, let it go. 2 more, in and out. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to add the arms. So the arm movement doesn't go with the breath, but we keep the breath going as we do it. So thinking about head and neck relaxed and breath still going. This does not need to be a fast movement by any means. if that feels easy for these last few, what I want you to think about is that as your arms come about to like this point, so almost all the way overhead to here, notice if your ribs are like popping up and your mid-back is arching away from the mat in order to make that movement happen. And what we're gonna do, so this is what we don't wanna do, but what we do wanna do is keep our ribs down. So that's gonna require turning on the front of your tummy. So as your arms reach up, you're gonna say ribs stay down. It's almost like you're about to do like a crunch. It's kind of that sort of feeling. And then keep that mid-back in contact with the mat as you do this. So rib cage isn't flaring up, back isn't arching. And then kind of the combination of all three of those, like neck relaxed, ribs down, breathing into your tummy. That's as much as we're gonna do with this one. But one element at a time. It's totally good if there's one of those that you need to focus on the most, to just do that one too. You don't have to do all three. All right. So let's do 2 more of these here, focusing on whichever cue feels like the best challenge for you. Breath, relax neck, or ribs down. Reaching up. And back down by your sides. And then one more round. Arms up overhead, maybe feel a nice stretch in your armpits. And then reaching back down. All right, now we're gonna roll to your side. And then here we are going to come to a forward fold. So at the top of your mat, and then here, just take a little pause. Optional to grab your elbows. Pedal out your legs. Feel a nice hamstring stretch. Bend one leg at a time. And then what I want you to think about with your neck here is, are you using effort to hold your head up in this position? And if you are, shake it out, shake it out. We don't need to hold our head up here. Learning to relax is so hard, so we kind of incorporate it in different little pieces, different ways that we can check on when we're holding tension and let it go. So we're kind of multitasking here, letting neck relax and also getting a nice hamstring stretch, so that's always great. Good. All right, now we are going to come on all the way up to mountain, and then we're gonna come into a twist. So open your arms up to the right, so left hand is coming in front, right arm is coming behind you, and there we are in a nice twist. And then brings arms all the way back up to mountain, and this time, so feet are staying where they are, hips are staying, like pointing straight ahead, but we're gonna open left arm back, and right arm forward to get a nice twist in upper back on this opposite side. Back up to mountain, and so your arms kind of feel like a swimmer, kind of like a windmill, and open back up to the right. We'll do a few rounds of this here. Reaching up overhead, back to the front, and opening to the left. Back to mountain, open to the right. Back to mountain, left side stretch. Great. Back to mountain, and one more each side. So right side. Back up, and left side. We'll come all the way back to mountain, and then we're gonna find our cactus stretch. So arms kind of coming to a goalpost, and optional for a little bit of a back bend. This is not huge here, just a little bit of bend coming from this area of the back instead of like a big lean back, and feeling this stretch in the front of the chest. And then reach back up to mountain, and then come into a forward fold. We're going to step back into plank here, and just one short, small consideration in plank is that what we want to see here is that your neck is in line with your whole spine, so not that the head is dropped. Okay, and then lower to your tummy. All right, now we're going to come into a different version of locust. So bring your arms down at your sides and palms down. This is sometimes called airplane arms. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to lift feet and arms as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And think about squeezing your shoulder blades not only together, not only squeezing them together, but also down on your back. So what you're gonna do is, as you lift your chest and you lift your legs, you're squeezing your booty and you're squeezing between your shoulder blades, and you're also thinking long neck. We don't want to crane our neck and look forward. So let's do that together. So resting, if you just did a round of that, and then we're gonna breathe in, and then on our exhale, lift up, squeeze shoulder blades down together, squeeze buns, lift your legs, and then lower. And we'll do this a few times. What I want you to think about at your shoulders is squeezing your shoulder blades together, but not shrugging up. So if you notice any shrugging up, just think if you can reach your hands more down towards your feet as you do this, okay? So breathe in to prepare, and then exhale as you lift, squeezing your buns, squeezing your shoulder blades down and back and together, arms reaching long towards your feet. And lower, and we'll do that one more time. Breath in to prepare, and then exhale, lift, squeeze shoulder blades, think long neck, and buns working here. Good, and then rest, let that go. Now we are going to come into a tabletop position. So however you want to get there. What I just did was not very graceful, but that's okay. Finding our tabletop, and then here we're going to come into cat-cow, but we're going to make it special today. So looking forward into cow. This is where your tummy drops, head looks forward, and then exhaling the cat. And then we're going to sit back into child's pose. And so two options here. So that's the whole thing. We're going to repeat this a few times where it's cow, cat, child's pose. And you have two options. Well, you have three options. One, you can just do regular cat-cow. But if you like this, try it with me. The options with what I'm doing is that you can do, as you sit back to child's pose from cat, you can keep your cat back to get a little bit of an extra stretch in your upper back. Or what you can do is come back to neutral, so the middle, and then sit back to child's pose, just finding like a regular child's pose, but this one, knees are closer together. So sometimes we do knees really wide in child's pose, but this is one where we're a little closer together. So you can try on all of those. You can pick your favorite. Let's start with looking forward into cow. Exhale, round in for cat. And then sit back into child's pose. Rise up to tabletop. Look forward into cow. Exhale into cat. Sit back. Come on up, and as you come up, look forward, drop your tummy into cow. Exhale into cat. Sit back. Come on up, inhale, look forward into cow. Exhale into cat. Sit back, take a whole round of breath here. Inhale. Exhale as you come back up to neutral. Inhale, look forward and into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, sit back. Exhale as you come back to neutral. Inhale, look forward. And this will be our last round. Exhale into cat. Inhale, sit back into child's pose. Exhale, come on up. All right, wonderful. And now we are going to bring the hands a little bit forward. Optional to turn fingers out a little bit here. And now we are going to come up into down dog. Same idea with your neck here as in that forward fold. You want to be able to move your neck, not feel like cementy. So then reach your right leg towards the ceiling and then step it forward. It's totally okay if it takes multiple oops to get that leg up. And then in this lunge, we're going to come into a twist. So your left hand is planted next to your right foot, and then reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Then bring right hand back down, and then now we're gonna step left foot forward, come into a halfway lift, or squeeze shoulder blades together, come back into a forward fold, reach, and you can reach out to the side or in front of you all the way up to mountain, come into that cactus stretch, back up to mountain, and then a forward fold. We're going to repeat this a few times. So now step back into down dog. And now we're going to get left leg started here. So bring left leg towards the ceiling. Step left leg forward between your hands. And you can use your arm to help it get there. And now with right hand planted, we're going to reach left hand up towards the ceiling, get a nice stretch. And then set that one back down. Bring right leg forward. Halfway lift, squeeze shoulder blades, flattening the back here. Round in, forward fold. Reach up to mountain. Cactus stretch. Mountain. And back down. Stepping back into down dog. Good. Right leg reaches up. Come forward. Plant your left hand. Reach your right hand towards the ceiling. Bring right hand back down. And bring that left leg forward. Then look forward here as you squeeze shoulder blades together. Hands can be on your shins, or if you are super flexible, they can be on the ground as you do this. And then fold forward, and then reach arms all the way up. Cactus stretch. Mountain. And back down, stepping back into down dog. I like to notice if there's a leg that I'm always stepping with first. It's usually my right leg. And then just kind of force myself every now and then when I remember to step first with my left leg. So that's just a side note for those transitions. So then here, left leg, bring that one up towards the ceiling, and then reach that left leg forward, and then right hand plants, twisting to the left. Back to our lunge, stepping right leg forward, halfway lift, fold in, back up to mountain, cactus stretch, reach back up to mountain, forward fold. We're going to step back to down dog, and we're going to do this one more time each side. All right. Enjoy this last down dog. Reach your right leg high, step it forward, right arm reaches up to the ceiling, and sets back down. Bring your left leg forward, halfway lift, fold in, Sweep those arms up all the way to mountain. Cactus stretch. Reach up here. And forward fold, stepping back to down dog. Just kidding. That wasn't the last one. Now, lift your left leg towards the ceiling. And then step that forward. Reach your left hand up for a twist. Set that hand back down. Bring right leg forward. Halfway lift. Fold forward. And something that I noticed too as I do this flow is that in that forward fold, I still wanted to hold my head up. So letting my neck go and then reaching all the way up to mountain. Finding that cactus stretch. Back up to mountain. And now we are going to come into child's pose. So for this one, you can do knees wide or together. But try, if you'd like to, knees wide, big toes touching, reaching your arms out long in front, and then forehead is going to rest on the ground. Breathe into your tummy here. Then we're going to add a side stretch. So walk your hands all the way or even off of the right side of your mat. And settle in again here. And with that belly breath and thinking about the 360 diaphragm, which is our breathing muscle, think about breathing especially into this left side of low back here. Good. And then walk your hands all the way over to the left and find the same nice stretch on your right side. So hands are to the left, but getting a stretch in your right side body. Wonderful. Okay, so we are all done with our standing stuff, but now we're going to do a little bit of core before we wind down. So come on onto a seated position. We're going to do boat pose. So boat pose sometimes gets a little bit of a reputation for being really hard. The thing about boat pose is there are so many ways to modify it. So I'm going to show you some of those today. And what we're going to start with is just a regular boat pose. So start with your hands behind your knees, and then what you're going to do here is you're going to keep a straight back, so we don't want to be rounding in. Keep a straight back as you kind of unbend your elbows, and then feel your tummy engage as you lean back. So this is boat pose. This is one version of it. This is totally a great way to do it. What you can also do is you can take turns taking your arms off, holding, and putting hands back on. So try either version of that, holding, or you can even do one arm at a time, taking breaks here. And I think long spine. Another option, if that feels too easy, is that you can take your heels off of the ground. So then you can also here do the same variations that we just did, but with your heels lifted. So you can lean back, but still hold, and then take breaks to not hold. Or you can do heels lifted and do kind of one arm at a time as you work on this. So heels up or down. Let's take a few more seconds holding boat. The shake is good, so if you feel that, embrace it. And and it's optional how much you lower. The more you lower, kind of the harder it gets. But what we care more about is quality, so it should feel like a challenge, but it should feel like a doable challenge, not like it's impossible. Okay, now we're going to come into a long body stretch. So, legs out long, reach your arms all the way up overhead. Breathe into your tummy. And then bring legs bent, and we're going to take a twist to each side. So first let knees go to the right, and then open up to the left. Breathe into your tummy here. Knees back up, and then bring your knees to the left side. Find a nice twist here, optional to look to the right. Good. And then now we're going to get set up for our final Shavasana. So if you have the yoga couch that we set up at the beginning, that's great. If you didn't, basically what we did is we grabbed some blankets and we folded them so that it's going to be kind of like you're laying down on a bolster, like basically this rectangle shaped stack of blankets. So if you already have it set up, bring it over and put it into position. If you have some blankets nearby that you can just fold into this rectangle shape, there's no rush because really you can stay here as long as you want. So basically we just have 2 blankets. This bottom one is folded into a rectangle that's the length from your lower back all the way up to the top of your head. And then second one was folded the same, but then we just folded the top of it over, and then we're stacking it. So from the side, it kind of looks like a wedge shape. But you can bring in like pillows, anything that would make you feel just cozy and supported during this final meditation. And so what we're gonna do, if you have this set up, is you're gonna bring your booty to the edge, and then just lay down, and then once you get here, you might have to reposition so that this part is in a good spot for your neck. So you want it like on your neck, not just like under your head. So wherever you are, whatever you have for this final posture, even if it's just your regular Shavasana or legs up the wall, settle in and reconnect with the breath. This is your time to just breathe and just be here. I'm going to talk you through a calming breath where we decrease our breath rate and slow it down, and that helps calm our body. So start by just seeing where your breath is at, if it's fast, if it feels slow and relaxed. And if it feels fast, don't judge it, just say, oh, okay, my breath rate is a little fast today, or maybe it's always like that. And start on your next inhale. Inhale for 4 counts, so that'll be inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out, 2, 3, 4. So 4 nice and slow counts for inhales and exhales. Every inhale in for 4 and out for 4. Now that that starts to settle in and we adapt to that, when you're ready, we're going to increase to a 6 count. So in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so the 6 count is what we're going to do for today. We're not going to increase it further. So continue that 6 count breath, and just if it feels good, close your eyes, but just settle in here and feel how that changes other sensations in your body. It kind of brings us down a notch and helps calm us. For 6, optional to pause for 1 second at the end of your inhale, and then exhale for 6. And so we are at the end of our scheduled time. And so if you have other things that are calling to you, when you're ready, you can roll to your side and gently come out of this. Take your time, let yourself be seated for a minute or so before you go about your day. But if you have time to stay here and enjoy, continue the 6 count breath. You can stay here as long as you like. We'll do a few more minutes here for this recording. Optional if you are loving this to stay here as long as you want. But if you're ready to move on, go ahead and roll to your side. You're going to kind of roll off this yoga couch if you have one, and then use your arms to help you up to seated. Thank you for joining me today. If you loved this, check out Breathe at Home. It's our new membership site that we have an app. We're uploading videos all the time, and there's 2 options now. There's the monthly fee, which is $19.99, and then there's also a discounted option if you want to buy for the whole year. So there's yoga, there's lifting, there's things targeting like for low back, or things for neck, or things for upper back, or things for your knee. So there's great resources on there, and we're adding to it all the time. But we'll meet here again next Tuesday. Thanks again.